Hey guys, it's Olivia and I'm back with another video. So I've heard many stories of people being followed around in stores and I've seen it on TV, whether it was like a real life scenario and or if it was like written into a script. I've seen it happen before. I've heard from people I know of it happening to them, and I've never once thought that they were lying or that it was fake. But it had never happened to me until about a year and a half ago. And so in this week's video, I'm just going to tell you the story of the first time that I ever got followed in a store. But before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday. I make anywhere from story times like this to rant videos to how to make money online videos. And with all that being said, let's get into this week's video. So let me just set the scene. Let me give you a little bit of context. So this was in December of 2017, and what I went to buy at the store was an external hard drive. So I make YouTube videos, as you know, because you're watching a YouTube video of me right now, and video files take up a lot of space. Therefore, an external hard drive is the way to go. Like, you don't want your computer to get full of videos, then it goes slow because the hard drive's full. So external hard drives is the way to go. So I had an external hard drive, but then it got full because I'm making a new video every week. And so I went to buy a new one. So basically I had filmed the video, but then I didn't have enough space to put the video onto my external hard drive, so I couldn't edit it, which means I couldn't put out a video, which doesn't work for me. So then I decided to do a little bit of research, find the one I wanted for a good price, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And then I found the location that I wanted to go to. So I am from Canada. I feel like I've mentioned that a lot in my recent videos. And so we have a store called Canada Computers, which is like Best Buy or The Source. Like, it's a computer store. Like, you go there and you can buy computer monitors, computer chairs, laptops. They have like a camera section. Like, it's an electronics store, right? And so that is where I went. And so I get to the store, and the store has like a little turnstile. So I walk through that, and then there's an employee standing like right here. But like, I didn't pay her any mind. And so I didn't know exactly where they kept the external hard drives. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to start from one side of the store and I'm going to walk up and down the aisles until I find what I'm looking for. So I start on the right side of the store and I walk down the aisle and I'm like looking up and around like this because I'm looking for something. I don't know where it is. And then I come back down this aisle and back down this aisle and so on and so forth. And so by the third aisle, I had realized that the employee who was standing at the entrance when I first came through was behind me. And so she comes up to me and she's like, "Oh, can I help you look for something?" And so my first thought is, she can clearly see that I'm lost because I'm looking all over the place and I'm walking through every single aisle of the store. So she's just trying to be helpful. Like, that is my first thought. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I was just like, oh, she's doing her job. She wants her customers to find what they need. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm looking for an external hard drive. And she's like, oh yeah, they're over here, follow me. So then I start following her. And so we get to one of those, like, you know, those glass displays, and then you need a key and then you like slide it open. Yeah. So we get to one of those glass displays and she's like, oh, which one do you want? And I was like, oh, it's that one. I saw it online. I think it's on sale, blah, blah, blah. And then so she opens the display and she takes it out. But then she doesn't give it to me. She's like, oh, let's go to the front of the store so that you can pay for this. And I was just like, okay. So like, she wouldn't give me the box that held the external hard drive. She carried it to the front of the store and I followed her to the front of the store. So when we get to the front and she goes up to the cashier and she's like, oh, this young lady is about to pay for this external hard drive. She's gonna pay for it. Like, it's kind of expensive, but she's gonna pay now. She's gonna pay. And then so I just thought that was really weird. Like, I wasn't even once again, I'm not thinking about anything. I'd never been followed before. Nothing like that had ever happened to me before. So I'm just thinking that this person's just weird. Like, I didn't think anything of it. And then the cashier scans it and she's like, oh, it's gonna be this much. And it was like $100 and something. And I was like, oh, I'll pay with my card. And then so I insert my card, put in my PIN, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, oh, it went through. And I was like, okay. And then, so then I take my external hard drive, I go outside, and I'm sitting in the car. And then that's when I realized what had just happened. I promise you, I did not realize that I was being racially profiled. Like, it didn't click until the whole situation was over. Like, when it had already happened, it was in the past, and I was like reminiscing on the events that had just occurred. And I was like, hold on. I just got followed in a store. And when this employee came to help me, she was just trying to make sure that I wasn't going to steal anything. And then she was emphasizing that I needed to pay for it. And then she was surprised when my card went through. And I was like, hold on. And then all of these, I don't even know what I was feeling, but I know that it was not a pleasant emotion. And then I started to think back, and I was like, when she had finally decided to like tap me on the shoulder and ask me like what I was looking for, we were like in a section of like TVs or whatever. And I was like, what did you think? Did you really think that I was gonna smuggle a 56-inch TV under my shirt? Like, I know that you can't like see my whole outfit or whatever, but like I am wearing like an oversized windbreaker, but like it does not matter the size of your shirt. There is no way that you could smuggle a TV under your shirt. Like, traditionally, bodies are not shaped like a perfect rectangle. So if you see somebody walking around with a rectangle only on the front, like the front of their body is just a perfect rectangle, then obviously something's going on there. But who's really that dumb? Nobody's shirt can fit a TV without you noticing. So like, anyways, so that's that. That is the story of when I got followed. All I wanted to do was buy an external hard drive. That's it. I just wanted to be able to export the video that I had filmed. I wanted to edit it and then export it onto the external hard drive. I just wanted to put out a video for you guys. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the store and buy an external hard drive, only to get followed around this store and have two people assume that I couldn't afford what I went there to buy. Like, I know that you can't tell this from like just somebody walking into the store, but let me tell you something about me. If you're somebody who works at a store and you ever see me walk in, let me tell you something about me. I do not go into a store unless I know that I can afford what's in there. Like, how do I explain this? I am not a spontaneous buyer. I don't just see something and I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks super cute, I'm gonna buy it. No. You wanna know why? Because I could probably find something that looks exactly like that for cheaper, whether it's online or from a different store. I do my research before I buy anything, like especially if I'm gonna buy something expensive. Like if I'm gonna buy an external hard drive, if I'm gonna buy a mic, if I'm gonna buy a camera, if I'm gonna buy a lens, if I'm gonna buy lights, if I'm gonna buy anything, I'm trying to make sure that I'm not getting ripped off. So if I walked into your store, it's because you had the best deal and it's because I know that I can afford what's in this store. That's why I walked into your store. So for you to assume that I can't afford it, if you ever see me, this specific human, in a store near you, just know that I can afford whatever I walked into that store for, because that's why I went there. And I know that you're probably wondering why I made the purchase, because typically if somebody is acting like that towards you, you're like, I'm not going to give you my business. But it's honestly because I did not realize it. I promise you, I did not realize what had gone on until it was over. And so, as I said, that is the first time that I was ever followed in a store. And now, a year and a half later, that has not happened to me since. And so that happened like a month before I turned 19. So I feel like the reason it took nearly 19 years for that to ever happen to me is because I don't really go to expensive stores per se. Like if I'm going shopping, I don't go to a boutique. I go to Ardeen or I go to Stitches. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those stores. I obviously don't think anything is wrong with those stores because I go there, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with like buying $5 jeans at Ardeen versus $40 jeans at Blue Notes. Like, buy, if you like the jeans, buy them. It doesn't matter the price, right? So I feel like if I go to a store that sells $5 jeans, I guess they expect me to be able to afford $5 jeans, so they're not going to follow me. So I don't know. I don't like shop for like clothes at high-end places, and I don't really buy electronics that often, and when I do, I typically buy them online. So it's like, for example, this external hard drive, I bought it a year and a half ago. It's still the one that I'm using to this day, and it's not even like an eighth full. So it's like I'm going to be using this for like years. Like I might not buy another one for another 4 or 5 years. And it's already been like a year and a half, so let's round that up to 2 years. So 2 years plus the next 5 years that it might last me, that's 7 years. So it's like I'm not going to go into a store to make another expensive purchase for another 5 years. So that's going to be 7 years between expensive purchases. So then it's gonna be a lot of years between people potentially following me because I don't go to places that sell expensive things very often. So I feel like maybe that's the reason why that is the first and only time that has ever happened to me. It could very well happen to me again in the future, and now I know what it feels like. I know what to look out for. I'm going to probably, hopefully, realize it in the situation because I'm not trying to give you my business if that's how you're going to be treating me. But honestly and truly, as I said, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. At first, I just thought that she was trying to be a helpful employee, but then when you put everything together, from the moment I got in the store, she followed me down 3 aisles. Then when she shows me the product, she won't give me the product. She decides to take it to the front of the store to make sure I pay, and then when I do pay, she's surprised that I could pay. Like when you add all of that up, that's not her being employee of the month and making sure that every customer finds what they're looking for. No, that's not it. So at first I was like, oh, she's being helpful. By the end, after I put all the pieces of the puzzle together, no, that's not what it was. And so that is that. That is the story of the first time that I've ever been followed in a store. That has been the only time that has happened to me. It was not a good experience. I don't feel good about it thinking back on it. Will it happen again in the future? There's a chance. And I don't know. I'd never really thought about it before because it had never happened. I knew it could, but it never did. And like now I know the feeling and it's not a pleasant one. So that is all for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you think your friends will enjoy it, be sure to share it with them. All my social media links will be down below in case you want to follow me on there. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday, and I'll see you next Monday with a new video.